The Nitecore EDC09 is going to be Nitecore's first miss for me in a very long time. Okay, listen, this thing is 1600 lumens. It has a swiveling head that goes 102 degrees, 3 color temperatures. It can do warm, neutral, white, USB-C recharging. It has a click mechanism on the side, which allows for you to easily turn it on and off. It has a pocket clip, which is very strong, and you can also wear it on your hat. And overall, it could be a light that may work for you, but I'm going to tell you why it does not work for me. And the thing is I was very excited when this light dropped because I had the Nitecore EDC17. And although I have my other Nitecores, the 29s and the 23s and all that good stuff, I really wanted a work light because this is something that is very functional for me when I couple it with something like one of my Leathermans and I'm walking around the house, I'm doing different tasks and I'm trying to make different stuff happen. And the thing is that what this light proved to me is that there are very few companies that can get the work light right without just going with the traditional light from like Home Depot or from Ace Hardware or Lowe's. And this is just a light that's trying to be an EDC light and a work light. And I think it should lean heavy into one or the other. It had a hard, tall task to live up to because before it, I had lights that I used for working that I definitely wanted to give this an opportunity to see, could I put this in my pocket and can I also use it for possibly everyday carry as well? So years ago, I picked up the Phoenix Whiskey Tango 25R. This thing is only 400 lumens and it's discontinued. But it still was a very functional light. Like the thing itself has a rechargeable battery pack that comes out, right? So you can recharge the battery pack that's in it. While you're recharging it, you can throw a couple of AA's in there. So if like you still got some work to do, you can throw some AA's in there while you're recharging this thing up. It had a pretty strong magnet. And it also had 2 different color temperatures. The downfall of this light is at times 400 lumens is not enough. And the pocket clip, it could have been a little bit more versatile, but I still use this light to this day. And then I picked up the Phoenix Whiskey Tango 25R. I like this light so much that I've acquired it twice. So initially I had this light and I literally broke it. And this light itself, I had to pick up another one. This actually swivels 105 degrees. It's fantastic. It has a good click to it. You hear that click, so you can hear when you're actually making positive movements on the light. And it was just a really good light. So when I saw this light drop, I knew that it might be something I was interested in. So I'm going to tell you what I don't like about this light, and then I'm going to tell you the things I like about it. So first of all, my biggest complaint with this light overall is that you cannot, in a very like suitable way, move this swiveling head with one hand or one finger while you're working on a work project. So the first major project I used this light for is I wanted to change the exhaust fan in my powder room. Changing an exhaust fan is pretty straightforward. You take the cover off, you drop the old fan, and then you have to hook up the vents and the wiring for the new fan. Well, I needed something that could lay flat, and that's where I saw it fail the very first time. Is because when you're trying to quickly lay this thing flat, a lot of times it will fall over on its side. So if you want to turn on the light and lay it flat, a lot of times it's pointing in a direction you don't want it to go to. That kind of sucks because I need it to stay put. I want you to stay exactly right here or exactly right there. It moves because as much as the pocket clip may be handy to wear on a hat, this little divot right here just kind of makes it so that it's always kind of just not quite exactly where you want it, how you want it. And that is not a good thing for me. So that's something I wasn't the biggest fan of. Now, I will say that the actual light itself, it does have a decent, I don't want anything that has too much of a spot beam because when you're looking inside of a breaker box or if you're working inside of some drywall, if you are trying to like hook up electrical lines or something like that, having a very targeted spot beam is really hard when you're trying to work on something. Next project I use it for is I wanted to actually turn my door around on my washing machine. We got a new Electrolux washing machine. I wanted the door to swivel to open to the right instead of to the left. And so this thing, of course, it has a magnet on the bottom. So I stuck it on the dryer, which is right next to the washer. And I want to use it for those tasks. Well, you know what? There are times when you're working with a glass door of a washing machine that you kind of want to just keep your hand on that glass door and make sure it doesn't fall out. That's when it's on the dryer. You want to move this with one finger. It's just way too tight. Maybe it would get looser over the years, over the months when you use this more, but the head itself is entirely too tight to be used for that. My other thing that I did not like is that you cannot remove the battery. This leans too heavy. That's when I say it leans too heavy as an EDC light versus a work light, because if this is going to be my work light and I haven't used it in a month, I don't want to turn it on and then the battery be low and I have to wait around to use my work light. Those are the things that held me back from using this. And I just really wish that, those things are improved if we get another version of this light. So, I mean, it's a good light overall. It's easy to change out and it gives me functionality I don't need. I don't need a strobe mode. It has one. I don't need, it's just something I'm not entirely useful for me. I do like the low lumen mode, but I don't really need that on a work light either. So trying to mix these two is what kind of made this thing really not work for me. Now, in comparison, my favorite work light is the Whiskey Tango 25R. And if I didn't know this light existed, I might like the EDC09 more, but this light does exist and it can do stuff like easily moving it with just one hand. And if this was on a magnetic surface, this thing moves extremely easy with just one hand. I don't have any issues whatsoever. Now, it does have a really dorky charging port. You have to use this magnetic charger. Be honest with you, I lost a magnetic charger probably 7-8 months ago. You know what I do? I just pop out the battery. It rocks 18650 battery. I take the battery out. Matter of fact, it has a Streamlight 18650 in it, and it's a Phoenix light. What that means is that I can swap the battery out and I can just throw it on my 18650 charger and my work light is working immediately. So I'm good to go. This one's about to die, but it's not even that big of a deal because I can just throw another light in here and I'm good. And okay, so it only has a one-way pocket clip, which you can still put on your hat. But this doesn't want to go in your pocket. You can put it on like in your shirt pocket or something like that if you really, really want to, if you want to throw it in your breast pocket. But I don't need it to go into my pocket. I just need it to work and I need it to function really, really well. Now, this one doesn't have as good as a beam as the EDC09. You see that spot in there? That kind of sucks. That spot beam is I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I just normally will keep it on a lower mode. This is only 1,000 lumen. It actually has a not as far of a throw, but you know what I can do, and it always works. I can lay it down no matter what's going on. It's going to stay where I put it. It's going to swivel and all that good stuff. Now, 105 degree to 102 degree, you're not going to be able to discern the difference between those with the human eye. I mean, you can see the differences there, 105, 102. You're not going to notice the difference with those. So the biggest thing is that this reminds me of the Olight Arc Flex, which came out in 2023. And you may notice that Olight has not come out with another one because I think that these companies that are really good with everyday carry, when they venture into the work light realm, it doesn't necessarily, they don't lean heavy enough into the work light portion. And I would even say that just getting a Woobin G5, which does 400 lumens, just like my old school Whiskey Tango 20R, might be just enough for people because this thing here, you can kind of swivel and it does what you need it to do. And yeah, it does have a really, really pointed spot beam, but you could literally just spend 20 bucks, get yourself a G5 by Woobin and have all the things that this thing can't do. You can't change the battery on this. And I mean, they're kind of like the one and the same. Whereas if you get the Nitecore EDC09, you're spending 70 bucks. So that's something that you got to think about. Now, the way I normally would like to use this thing is I normally would take it and I'm throwing it in pouches. So if I know I got stuff to do that day, a lot of times it would come with me in a pouch. So I would throw it in a pouch. I would take my Leatherman, throw it in a pouch, and then I'm walking around the house with a Leatherman bit kit, a multi-tool, a flashlight. I can get most little projects around the house done easily just with these two tools. And so it does work well in a lot of different pouches. The pocket clip is obnoxiously long though. You can see it hit my little RE right there. That's one pouch I might take around with me. Maybe I want to take this wallet with me. It's almost a little bit too wide to put it here. I have to end up putting it in the back of it, right? So it just kind of fits where I need it to go in these different pouches. And I can take this around with me, use it as I see fit, etc., etc. And then sometimes, even if I want to take it with me in like my makeshift wallet, I may throw it in this data crew here, and throwing it in here, it still works, okay? You can still throw it in here if I move this RE out the way. It kind of works exactly how I needed to. Throw the Leatherman on the other side, and I'm ready to rock and roll. It's a good looking light. It is a functional looking light, but at $70, I think that you might be better off just spending the money. And by spending the money, I mean spending $9 more, $10 more in getting the Whiskey Tango 25R. If you're looking for a dedicated work light and you don't want to go the route of like a knockoff brand from Amazon, or going and getting yourself like a Milwaukee, or getting something from Home Depot, you might just want to get that. But that's kind of where I'm leaning with this for an EDC light. So let's just get away from the concept of this being a work light. Let's just say you have an everyday carry light in your pocket that also can do the party trick of swiveling its head. It does work for that. So if occasionally you want to be able to bend the head for whatever reason, because you don't have someone with you to shine the light, let's say for instance, you're trying to fix something inside of your vehicle and there's not too many magnetic surfaces on the inside of the cab of my truck. But if I kind of set it on my dash and I point it down, maybe I can use that to, if I'm trying to write a note or to pay a bill or write a check or whatever, it's used for that type of stuff. You know, the other day I had some rattling going on in the engine well of my vehicle. Take this, of course, there's plenty of magnetic surfaces in there. Take it, swivel it where you want it. It's great for an everyday carry light that swivels. But if you're looking for like an around the house, or if you are a technician, HVAC, carpenter, electrician, whatever, this is not going to be a light that you want to depend on, mainly because of the fact you cannot remove that battery. And when it's on a magnetic surface, it's very hard to move it one hand. Matter of fact, I'll even show you by holding both of these in my hand, how easy it is to just move this Whiskey Tango. And with this one here, I mean, I am putting in work with my offhand. Now that's my offhand. Let's switch it and make it a little bit more fair. So this is my left hand, which is not my dominant hand. Whiskey Tango 25R, easy. The 09, just a lot more force just to get the same thing done. So that's something you got to think about. So for me personally, at full price, it's probably not going to be a go for me. I can get you 10% off if you use the code down below if this is something you've been interested in. And if it still works for you, you're like, X, I mostly just want something that's kind of like a everyday carry light, you know, and it's something I really like. I've been checking it out for a while. You don't know what you're talking about. Then sure, go ahead, go forth, make your purchase. I think, you know, besides a few things that I talked about, I think overall you're probably going to be okay with it. But if you're looking for something that's mostly a work light with a pinch of EDC, this is not for you. Comment down below, what do you think about the Nitecore EDC09? Is it a smash? Is it a pass? It does have good LEDs on it. Puts out good light, just not what I need. Although I do like the way you turn it on. I will tell you that's very, very useful. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.